Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here in this special scenic filming spot location because guess what? I have a sports car that people cannot stop talking about and I want to bring it to you. It's this vehicle right here, the first ever 2023 Porsche Cayman 718 GT4 RS. But before we get into this carbon fiber infused flat six powered sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. Porsche. When I say Porsche, the car that probably comes to mind is the 911. A lot of people don't understand what the Boxster and the hardtop version, the Cayman, have done for the company. In the 1990s, when they came out with the Boxster, it really helped save the brand known as Porsche because of its great sales and more affordability compared to the 911. Now, a lot of Porsche purists have always put that 911 on a pedestal, and many people in the auto industry have believed that Porsche has always kind of handicapped the Cayman in some way, shape, or form because they don't want it to outperform the 911. And that's interesting because remember, the Cayman and the Boxster, the convertible version, are both mid-engine, which scientifically is the better way to go. Now in 2016, they came out with the GT4. That really got many people excited, but it still wasn't exactly a true GT-powered Cayman. Well, guess what? For model year 2023, Porsche has gone all in because guess what? 2025 model year, that's when they're gonna have a fully electric Cayman and Boxster. It almost makes me wanna vomit on camera just saying that. But guess what? The good news is I have this 718 GT4 RS, and what I want to find out is if you're looking for that pure driving experience, that especially when it comes to sound, but also a car that will corner with the best of them, or even better than the best of them, is the GT4 RS the better way to go over the new Corvette C8 Z06? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our Guards Red GT4 RS and find out. Right off the bat, the color. Guards Red is probably one of the most iconic colors after GT Silver. And if you were alive in the 1980s, or if you like to go to Radwood and really check out those 1980s and 90s Porsches, Guards Red is probably the most popular color you're gonna see. Well, here it is on this 718 GT4 RS. Now at the front of the business, you'll see you're still gonna get the same headlight style. And these headlights are the standard headlights. One of the things that Porsche does very well is they have a cornucopia of options, especially when it comes to headlights. But being a standard headlight, you're gonna get LED headlight, LED daytime running lamp, and LED turn signals, which are actually blended into this lower corner. Now, besides the lighting, you are gonna have full functionality. So you have this nice wire mesh, honeycomb wire mesh to help bring cool air for the heat exchangers. And you also have aero work at the front end to channel all the air. One of the things that you'll find on a GT4 RS that's not on a GT4 is your canard dive plane on the sides. This helps give you more downforce and cleans up the air as it goes down the side of the vehicle. And when you hear RS, RS stands for Rennsport, or in German, it's racing sport. And that's what you get, is you get a more track-focused vehicle over your GT4. Now, I know this sounds like alphabet soup, numerical soup with a bunch of numbers and letters. Let me break it down for you. Basically, you have your base Cayman. That's known as the 718. That's this chassis, 718. Then you could go Cayman S, you could go Cayman GTS, they even have a Cayman T, but then you step up above the GTS is gonna be the GT4, and then this one is the top dog, the GT4 RS. Now, as we come across that low slung front, what you're gonna find on the GT4 RS is this lower splitter extends out further than your standard GT4, or even, of course, your standard Cayman. And you can see just how much extra width we have. Now, one of the things I love about the GT4 RS is you're gonna get that full aerodynamic efficiency that was developed on the racetrack. So we have that wire mesh honeycomb finish that's gonna help bring air from the front and out the top. And then you'll notice that somebody got a little messy here and they dumped a bucket of carbon fiber. Now, the reason why we could see the carbon fiber is that this has the WISOC package. You'll look at the carbon fiber see-through with the Porsche badge, but it's not a badge, it's actually a sticker. It's actually a decal to cut down on weight. That's another thing to realize, is that when you go with an RS model, it's all about cutting the weight as much as possible. So we have the carbon fiber frunk. You're also gonna get on the 4S these NACA ducts. What I love about NACA ducts is that they flow tons of air for the brake cooling, but they don't create a lot of drag. And then you see those peaked up fenders? Those are carbon fiber as well. Now they're painted. So if you go WISOC, you're gonna have the see-through clear on the carbon fiber frunk, and then I'll show you some of the other bits that are also carbon fiber. And then of course you're getting those carbon fiber painted fenders. But let me know what you think about having the carbon fiber frunk with everything else being painted guards red. Now this does have the axle lift system, that is an option. Lifts the front of the vehicle, and just like the C8 Z06, it actually saves that information so that when you show up somewhere, it automatically lifts. Now, as we come around the bend, this car, with its extra aero, produces 25% more downforce than a GT4. Let me show you some of the bits. So like I showed you, on the side, you got the dive plane, you got the air that's gonna come out the side, and then what we have for wheels and tires, this is your standard wheel. So we have a forged aluminum wheel, 19-inch wheel. Love the nice dark magnesium color. It's more like a gunmetal gray. I don't know why I use the word magnesium. I guess because I'm thinking that with this car, it's a $15,000 option. This one doesn't have it. It's a $15,000 option. You could actually get magnesium wheels, which are even lighter than forged aluminum. But you'll notice that we have the Cup 2s, Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of these tires? Up front, you're looking at 245 on the width, 35 series sidewall. And like I said, this is a 20-inch wheel, and we have the center locking lugs. So when you get a regular GT4, you have your multiple lugs. This has that race car inspired single lug. It cuts down on weight. When you cut down on weight on the wheels and the brakes, that cuts down on your rotating mass. This car will corner quicker. Now, what you have are your standard calipers, 6-piston, jumbo size calipers. I like the red, matches the guard red, and we have steel rotors. Fully cross-drilled, of course, they're ventilated, 2-piece rotors. There is a carbon ceramic brake package you could get for this car, which is another around $10,000 option. This one does not have it, but trust me, for duty on the street, even if you're gonna go to the track, these steel rotors and brakes do the job just fine. Now, when we talked about the fender, like I said, that carbon fiber fender, you're gonna notice the venting. This is not for brake cooling. This is for aero. So what happens is air could be trapped underneath the fender. And we don't want that because it could create lift. So what it does is it pulls the air out and allows you to have maximum downforce. And boy, oh boy, doesn't it look good. I wish on the WISOC package, which is that extra lighter package, I wish that these were carbon fiber. These are just plastic. Carbon fiber, I think, would have just added. Let me know. So I am going to zonk that. Yes, I'm zonking something on a GT4 RS. Now you are going to get carbon fiber mirrors. That's nice how it matches with the hood. This one has the optional carbon fiber window frame triangles. This is normally flat black. You'll see on the side the GT4 RS badge. So RS stands for Rennsport, and one of my other favorite pieces of aero is right here in the fender. Look at the way they carved this out to create the airflow down the side of the vehicle. That was something first seen on the 1996 Porsche 911 GT1 race car. And now we're seeing it on a street car. And with those sticky Cup 2s, guess what? Jörg Bergmeister turned a 7-minute, 4-second lap at the Nürburgring, at the Nordschleife, with a GT4 RS just like this one. Coming down the side of the vehicle, when you go WISOC, you're getting the carbon fiber air intake. So what they did was they pluck out, boop, the side corner mirrors, the side mirrors, the side windows. What am I saying, mirrors? I'm just in awe with this car. So they take out the quarter window and they give you this ginormous carbon fiber air intake on both sides. This is gonna feed the flat 6 that's in the middle of this beast. And when you go With the Y-Sock package, you get them larger and you also get them carbon fiber. This has the optional painted black door handles. I don't like that. I am gonna zonk that. It sticks out like a sore thumb. But you'll also notice the side vent as well is larger and carbon fiber. Now here's the interesting thing. On all the other Caymans, including the GT4, the engine gets its air, gets its breath from the side vents. This is actually for aero and for cooling. This is where the engine gets that oxygen from. Rammed into here, and wait until I show you where it goes when we get into the interior. Now on the back, we're also gonna have those sticky, obviously Cup 2 tires, the forged aluminum wheels. And what's nice is that these are a great track day tire, but they're also really good on the street. Steven's gonna zoom in and show you those nice Brembo calipers. And you got 20-inch wheels all the way around. And out back, they're 285, so you have a wider wheel and tire. We got PASM, Porsche Adaptive Suspension Management System. That's gonna adjust the compression and rebound damping as you are on the racetrack, and you can make those adjustments all on the center console, which I'll show you when we get inside. Of course, you have a limited slip diff, and I can't wait to show you what's underneath this rear glass. Now, as we come around the back, you're gonna get a massive exposed carbon fiber rear wing. Now you'll notice that it's a swan neck design. It is adjustable. What they found is on the race cars, creates less drag having the wing mounted this way instead of having it spun around and the wing on top. You got the nice end plates with the GT4 RS stamped in there, but you can see the carbon fiber. When you go Y-Sock, you're gonna get a plexiglass rear hatch window, and then it comes with the Porsche script across the back. That is specific to the Y-Sock package. And Y-Sock is that lightweight package, but if you're wondering, Joe, what the hell is Y-Sock? Where'd they get this name? That is the name of the location where Porsche's test track is at. So when they were developing this car, they did it at the Y-Sock track. See, that's the connection. You'll notice the clear taillights, full LED, of course, just like up front. And then I love the way you got this nice extended duckbill spoiler on the bottom, the Porsche name GT4 RS, just vinyl graphic, not actual stuck-on emblems to cut weight. And then working our way all the way down, you can see that extra width, nice large diffuser to channel the air underneath the vehicle, and this has a full titanium exhaust. And what's cool about the tips is that they mimic what was on the Porsche 917 Le Mans winning race car. And that is stock on the Y-Sock package. So the Y-Sock package is not just some carbon fiber. You're getting a full titanium exhaust system, which I can't wait to freaking fire up and go on throttle with you. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop this rear hatch and take a peek under the plexiglass window of this GT4 RS. All right, guys, we got the rear hatch open. Now, it's interesting to compare this to a Z06. You might be saying, well, Joe, I'm gonna go with the Z06. It's a V8. It's got more horsepower, but let me show you something that is so unique to this car. It's the only one like it in the world. Underneath the rear hatch, we do have our luggage space, just like we have up front with the frunk. That's not the big deal. Check out the thing of beauty. All carbon fiber with the GT4 RS badge, and you can see where the air intakes come in from the quarter windows to feed that flat six. And that's the thing, is there's no glass separating the driver's compartment from that flat six. So what do we got? We got a 4-liter flat six plucked from the mighty 911 GT3, but still Porsche handicapped it. Instead of it producing a little over 500 horsepower, it produces 493 horsepower, 331 pound-feet of torque. It redlines at 9,000 RPM. That's higher than a Corvette Z06. Corvette Z06 is around 8,600. It does have the 7-speed PDK. The reason why they don't use the 8-speed PDK, which is newer, is because it's lighter. And this does have these 6 individual throttle bodies. So we have 6 individual throttle bodies, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Quarter mile goes by at 10.9 seconds at 126 miles per hour. Here's the thing where it destroys the Z06. Weight, 3,220 pounds. MPGs, 15 in the city, 19 on the highway. So, like I said, it's interesting that this has over 100 horsepower less than a Z06, but it weighs about 500 pounds less than a Z06. I wonder how it's going to drive. But before we do, let's fire it up and see launch control and have it go take off. All right, guys, we are inside this 2023 Porsche Cayman 718 GT4 RS Weissach. Yes, it's a mouthful, but it's worth saying, and you could just call it a GT4 RS. I mean, it's that simple, but I want to be specific. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, my kids have moved out of the house finally. My daughter is 39 years old, and I finally got her out of the house. I had to buy her a car and a condo to make it happen. Now that she's out, it's time for daddy to be spoiled, and I want a sports car. I was looking at a C8 Z06, but you really have piqued my interest with this GT4 RS Weissach. How much is it? Asking price at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete is $239. Let's see what you get to the door panels. You'll notice the leather with the red deviated stitching and the carbon fiber. Nice, simple, clean. You'll notice on the GT4S, you have the guards red tether pull. That's to help cut weight. Interesting because we still have power windows and you got a Bose sound system, but you do have a nice large pocket for 6 track day Twinkies and a cargo net for 6 more. So you could get the 12 track day Twinkies in there, no problem. Now going from the door panel to the dash, the GT4 RS is the first production Porsche to have race-tex. That's the name that Porsche uses for Alcantara. Race-tex material on the dash, the red stitching, the carbon fiber. Look at the Weissach RS with the track. That's actually the track map there. Now one thing that's cool, but I would never ever use in a million years, is in the Cayman, you still have those cool hidden cup holders. But there's no way in God's green earth that you're drinking anything. You're lucky I'm gonna let you breathe in my GT4 RS. You're not drinking anything in my GT4 RS. And it closes up nicely. Race-tex on the freaking glove compartment. You got another cargo net down here. You could put a couple Bavarian cream Dunkin' Donuts down there. And then guess what? Come on in. This has the Sport Chrono package with the red face clock. That's an option. You have your standard infotainment system, which yes, most people would say it's dated, but I like the way it's cleanly integrated and it does everything that you need. You do have a CD player so you can listen to Pearl Jam, you can listen to Stone Temple Pilots, maybe some Candlestick, I don't know, whatever you have, you can make it happen. Real knobs, dual climate control, like the way it's got the dual climate control, heated seats but no ventilated seats, and that's a zonk. If you're gonna option all this in, I would like to see ventilated seats. This is gonna control that 7-speed PDK. I like the way they made it look like an actual shifter instead of that little razor nub thing that's on the 911 with a PDK. So that looks good with the red stitching, carbon fiber. You do have some dead buttons, believe it or not, but that's actually a good thing because we don't have a sunroof. We don't have a lot of the other amenities. You have your axle lift. You can make the exhaust nice and loud. More race-tex with the Porsche name. Open this up, wireless charging, and a place where you could put, I would say, 3 atomic fireballs, and there's a USB-A in there. Seats are a little bit of a letdown. I would have spent the $5,000 to get the carbon fiber buckets, but this has the 18-way electric adjustable seats with the Weissach embroidery. There's the track, the stitching, the race-tex, decent bolstering. There's all your seat controls. You can adjust it 20 different ways from Sunday. You have a fire extinguisher. I'm hoping you never have to use that. And this also has the guards red seat belts. race-tex on the headliner, and then behind me, I have that flat 6 that's gonna scream to 9,000 RPM with all that beautiful carbon fiber. Well, why don't you get your butt over here behind the wheel? I wanna show you the business end of this GT4 RS. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your optional carbon fiber sill plates with the GT4 RS name that lights up LED at night. Pedal box right out of a Le Mans race car. Nice size dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. You have your 18-way adjustable seats. Really configure it 20 different ways from Sunday. And you know what? The seats actually do a pretty good job being comfy, but also having the bolstering to hold you in. But I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna get a car like this, you gotta go with the carbon bucket seats. Here is your Porsche key fob. And what's cool is unlike the new 911, you still start the car up with this. So we're gonna put it in here. And then the reason why it's on the left-hand side of the wheel goes back to those standing start days where you have to run to your car and fire the car up, which is great. And then that would allow you to get the car started. As you put on your seatbelt, as you put the car into gear, it'll give you a quicker getaway. Steering wheel, this one has the leather. Standard has the race-tex. I love the red stitching. Nothing on the wheel except the wheel itself. I don't need to access the infotainment, my phone, none of that garbage. You do have magnesium paddles to go up and down the 7-speed PDK, or you could also use the shifter as well. And then I love the way that this one has the optional guards red face of the tech and also the speedometer with that red line at 9,000 RPM. And then on the side there, of course, you're gonna be able to have the ability to go through your different information with the gauges on the right-hand side. I love this gauge layout. It's absolutely perfect. I'm not showing you the frunk. I don't give a damn about putting suitcases or anything in there. Your Z06 Corvette could have a full set of golf clubs in it. Great, whoopity-doo-dah. I'm ready for the big test. What is that? I opened up the exhaust. We're going on throttle in this GT4 RS. All right, guys, we're inside this 2024 718 Cayman GT4 RS, comparing it to the mighty C8 Z06. That's a hard thing to do, but we're gonna start off real nicely with some good old-fashioned launch control. Hold down the brake with your left foot, peg the throttle with your right foot, release the left foot, and you are off like a cruise missile. Are you ready? Because I'm definitely ready. On throttle! Right away, what you feel in this car is just the craziest sensations when it comes to sound. It gets the power down so effectively. And remember, it's the only car, like I said, in the world where, guess what? The engine is right there. There's no window, there's no special engine compartment. It's right there. And I got the air box and the air inlets coming right behind my head. That is what you're getting in this car. It is the closest thing that I could think of to a race car on the road. There may be faster cars, like I said, hypercars and all that mumbo jumbo, but this thing, pound for pound, really brings it. Now I'm gonna put in manual shift mode and I'm gonna use the paddles behind the wheel. Second gear, are you ready? On throttle. Yeah! On the brakes. Woo! That 7-speed PDK. I wish it had a manual. Me personally, just like the Z06, I wish it had a manual, but we all know that these PDK transmissions, these DC, which is a DCT, dual clutch transmission, just like the Z06, you can't outshift them. And I hope I'm talking loud enough because we don't have the windows open. The engine is right there. Drop it down, third gear. We're at 5,000 RPM. On throttle, here we go. Let it pull. On the brakes. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Oh my God, this quicker than what your brain can even wrap around. And if you're comparing this to the Z06, that's where it's gonna outdo the Z06. Much more communication from the front end of the car through the steering. You can feel the weight difference. And I hate to say this, the Z06 has some artificial sound that's pumped in through the speakers. I just want to let you know that. Just chew on that for a little bit, like a piece of beef jerky. This, there's nothing artificial. It's right there. Pure protein, flat six, 4 liters, 6 individual throttle bodies. I know a lot of people were like, oh, the Z06 Corvette has dual set of throttle bodies, 2 throttle bodies. Well, guess what? This has 6. And that's really where you feel like, I don't think I've been in a new car, a contemporary car, that it feels like you actually have a throttle cable attaching the pedal to those throttle bodies. I haven't experienced that in years. That's what you get in this car. The fit and finish, the materials. Did I tell you about the sound? On throttle. Where's my towel? Oh God, this thing is on another level. And remember, this is the same engine out of the mighty 911 GT3. So what does that mean? That means 6 individual throttle bodies, if I haven't told you that yet. That means titanium rods, forged crankshaft, forged pistons. Allows, think about that, all of that stuff is spinning at 9,000 RPM. Can you tell that I'm excited? I am. And just the fact that it shifts so precise. I know the 8-speed Tremec DCT is very precise and quick in the Corvette, but this is on a different level. The PDK, Porsche's dual clutch transmission, is what all the other brands aspire towards. This was the first. They got rid of the Tiptronic and they brought out this. On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Oh my God! It really truly handles like it's on rails. I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless. I want to take this car home. It's like I gotta take it back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. I don't want to. It's crazy that this is how Porsche does it. And the fact that they're switching to electrification on the Cayman and the Boxster after this? And if you're saying, well, Joe, I want a convertible, they got you covered, big guy. RS Spider. Same thing as this car with a convertible top. And then the nutty thing about all this is I could put it back into regular automatic mode. I could shut the exhaust, I could close it a little bit, and the car drives. I mean, it's still loud because the engine's right there, but it still drives relatively very smooth. You could soften up the suspension. I could take PDK out of sport, and it's almost like you're driving a standard, regular Cayman. All right, maybe a Cayman S. But what an amazing machine that interacts with the soul of your body. Remember, there's cars out there, as I turn everything back on, of course, there's cars out there that move your body. This is the type of car, just like the Z06, that moves your soul. And I guess the big question is it worth the asking price when you compare it to the price of a Z06? That's what you have to ask yourself. Get behind the wheel, and I really feel like the answer is very clear. That sound. On throttle, here we go. This is why Porsche has won more 24-hour Le Mans races than any other brand. This is it. But I gotta get back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. I am gonna get myself into some big trouble with this car if I don't. So I will see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys. It's been a crazy day here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. Definitely gotta thank Miro, Michael, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this Guards Red GT4 RS. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna go with the purity of what this car brings, or are you gonna go with the Z06, the C8 Z06? Let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up. Stephen Flood Photography, working that camera like a champ. Thank you for all your hard work, Stephen. And what I have to say to the rest of you is I'll see you on the next ride.